Welcome to the Essence of True Self podcast, where we affirm I am the son of my creation. Here I focus on mindfulness, limiting belief, self-care, spirituality, and overall becoming your true self. I'm your host, Oriana, a book, tea, and self-development lover. I give you tips and tricks of what I learned on my self-development journey so you can apply to yours. If you're interested, keep listening. Hey, welcome back to the Essence of True Self podcast, and I'm your host, Oriana. And I hope your week, your day, your evening is going pretty well. And I'm thankful and grateful you guys decided to come back and listen. And I also wanted to talk to you guys about something, but of course, we're going to do our breathing. And then, of course, we're going to say our affirmations. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now we are going to our affirmations. I am the son of my creation. I am the son of my creation. I am the son of my creations. I hope that helps you feel better and come present to this moment. I hope you relax you for this day if your day wasn't going as well. It always worked for me, and I hope it just worked for you. And so, speaking of the affirmation, let me just jump in right on to it. Speaking of the affirmation, I want to start calling you guys Sunny. Let me know if you guys like that, because Sunny is just like, it's giving what it's supposed to be giving right now. Because, we say the son of my creation. So you are sunny all the time because you are creating the life you desire. Get it? Sunny, son of my creation. You sunny because you constantly giving sun energy to whatever you're trying to create. I don't know why I had to explain it extra long. I know y'all got it. I know y'all got it. I know you guys got it. But let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, I didn't upload anything last week. I really just had to be in tune with who I am in this moment and take a break. Because, as you know, in the last previous episode, I was saying I was moving and everything. And the purpose of this episode is the reason why I need this break. But this break was really just teaching me how to be in tune and understand my why again instead of have to rush and try to get everything out at once and putting unnecessary pressure on myself for what? For what? And if you anything like me who just feel like they have to constantly be doing something to feel like they keeping up with all their schedule, but it's also okay to take a break. You don't have to rush. You don't have to worry. You don't have to do anything because the universe got your back regardless. They're going to support you, whatever you decided to do. I'm learning that instead of just constantly doing it. And really, I known I needed to take a break because, of course, moving is a lot of pressure and stress. And plus, I didn't plan accordingly when I came to this move. And I feel like this episode is very much needed if anybody just need to take that break and rebalance yourself, realign yourself, go into flow of who you are as a person and why you started whatever you created or anything you decided to do. Just take that time for yourself to be able to come back to who you truly are. And yeah, in the last couple episodes, I was saying I was stressed and I felt pressure and I'm calling myself out, but really I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself for no reason, and I didn't need to do that at all. And once we come up with a routine and a balance, we're going to talk about how we can do that. But in the balance of life, instead of trying to make everything perfect and constantly going and doing all this thing that don't need to be so much pressure and just accept what is and not trying to figure out why do I feel like I have to do all these things to feel like I'm doing something great for my life. I'm creating my life as I'm just being me. So I don't have to constantly seek that external validation. But we're going to talk about that in another episode. But yeah, I just needed that time and that balance within me to realign myself and journal and make a routine for myself. And your girl don't know how to balance things. But once I came up with my own system, and I hope my system help you guys to understand what is important for you in your life, but balance is necessary in all aspects of our lives. And we just have to find a happy medium for ourselves, not worry about why this is this, why this is that, but really just be in flow with the universe and trusting. But I'm also gonna talk about that in another episode too. Your girl got some things in the work for you guys, but I just want you to know it's okay to take a break, create balance, understanding what balance is to you, and move forward from that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been going through lately, understanding balance for myself, trying to see where balance stand in my life and trying to understand what it means to me and how can I actually incorporate that into my life and appreciate what I have right now in this moment instead of rushing and pressuring myself to be something that I'm not. And I ain't gonna lie, I was afraid to speak on how I felt in the previous episode because I didn't want to disappoint the people who is listening to my podcast and the people who are just now listening to it. It's okay. It's okay to understand who you are and your purpose again instead of just trying to constantly push out content because you feel like you need to. And you don't have to. If you don't feel up to it, you don't have to. Just know, take the time and then come back to it. And it's okay. I guess we just been so trained to work hard, continue to show up, being consistent. Okay, that's a part of it. But sometimes you can take a break too. And not just expect things to be like, oh my God. Oh my God, I need to do this. Oh my God, I need to do that. Like, I always have to do something. And sometimes it's okay to just be with yourself and just hear yourself and just nurture yourself back to what you want your life to be. But let's get into the title of this episode: how to create balance, life balance in your life. So let's get into, of course, the definition. And I also want to add my own definition to see how they correlate together. And yeah, and I'm going to give you tips and tricks to how to make it happen, create balance in your life. So, as I look down, I'm looking at my notes. So when it comes to balance, first, actually, I want to read this quote that I saw on Pinterest when I was looking up balance and how can I create life balance in my life. So let me read the quote, and then we're going to get into the definition, and then my definition, and then, of course, the tips. Of course, the tips. Of course, the tips. Life is a balance between what we can control and what we cannot. I am learning to live between effort and surrender. This quote just caught my eye because I just feel like this is what I need to understand what flow and balance mean to me, and not just what I think it should be for me. And creating that understanding with myself that flow is what I make it, balance is what I make it. And if you come to hear me interchanging between flow and balance, you're going to see why in my definition. But yeah, trying to put effort and surrender at the same time, learning how to do that at the same time is key to learning balance. And I didn't really think of it like that until I saw this quote, and it kind of just put two and two together for me on top of my definition and on top of the regular definition, and just from a spiritual standpoint, it don't have to be one way of what balance mean. We all know that words have different meaning, and words have good and bad meanings. if you want to think of it like that. And let me give an example. Grounded, right? Knowing as a kid, grounded means, oh, I can't do nothing. I can't do absolutely nothing. I can't get my phone back. I have to do all this stuff. I can't talk to my friends. I'm grounded. But in a spiritual standpoint, it's becoming self-secure, and stable in yourself, and being one with the universe and calm in yourself, and knowing that things is working out. So just think of it like that. Just think of it like that. Words always have different meanings. It depends on how you interpretate them and how you incorporate them into your life. But let me get into the actual definition. I know I said that like 50,000 times. But definition: balance. In the concept of personal life, balance typically refers to achieving a harmonious equilibrium between various aspects of oneself, and involve managing and prioritizing different areas such as work, relationship, health, hobby, and personal well-being in a way that prevent one area from being overpowered, neglecting others. Striving for balance can help reduce stress, promote overall well-being, and create sense of fulfillment in different aspects of life. It's important to find balance that aligns with your values and prioritize them while considering your personal circumstances and responsibility. So, let me get into my definition. It kind of sounds the same, but it's just in a spiritual sense. Put a little Oriana on it, sprinkle, sprinkle. Balance is an even flow between one or more things, flowing with ease without overdoing it in one area when all parts of your life need to be watered. When you overdoing it on one or many things at once, that's when the pressure or the burnout or stress come up. Find a flow that works for you. And all of that to say, find a flow that works for you. Find a balance of everything that's important to you. So, first tip, what does balance mean to you? Have you had a great definition of balance in your life? Seeing as your parents, your friends, your coworkers, how do they manage their day-to-day life? I challenge you to ask them, how do you balance work life, and personal life? I don't know how I want to say it. Work-life balance. Yeah, work-life balance, to see what works for them. And trying to take tips and tricks. Don't take all their tricks, but take tips and tricks that might work for you. And my last question is, what is important to you? Once you understand the meaning of balance mean to you, and then you understand that you probably had a good or a bad example of what balance means to you, you can understand that you never really had that understanding of what balance was, and you can recreate your own and find out what's important to you while trying to create balance in your life. Me, personally, I never really had an example of what balance was. Like a good example, like managing work, managing life. And since I never really had a good example from my friends or my family, I just pretty much made my own. And it's okay. You can create your own rhythm, your own flow of what balance means to you. And I just feel like that is necessary if you want to understand meanings of word for yourself. And then what's important to you. Getting down to the nit and gritty of what's important to you. I'll give you 3 of what's important to me. Of course, 3 of them. You should know the first one, but spirituality is the first one for me. Mental health and physical health. Physical health include like nutrition, eating well, working out. I just put all that in one. But those the 3 that's very important to me. I still also have a lot of other things that's important to me, but I just want to give you 3. And I just challenge you to understand what's important to you, and you can work around that. And then when you figure out what's important to you, make time for what's important to you. A lot of times we say we don't have time, but really we have time. We just don't want to utilize it in a way that benefits us. I know you guys be over here scrolling on social media like you're watching me right now. Or, like, if you're a mother, you always tend to your child first. Your child come first. And you don't make excuses why you can't be there for your child. You gonna make time for them. Like, you should start making time for yourself and figure out what's important to you. So it's time to make time for yourself. Make time for important things that means a lot to you. Instead of saying, oh, this stuff is important to me, but not actually putting the action behind it to make time. Write it out. Write it out. Write it down on a piece of paper or put it in your notes app or set a timer or a reminder. Oh, I should be doing this or I should be doing that, and put on your calendar, because I'm a calendar girl. I'm a calendar out for sure. So make that time for yourself. Don't be like, oh, I can't do this, oh, I can't do this. And that leads me to my third point. Change the way you think when it comes to prioritizing what's important to you. Instead of saying, I have to do this, I gotta do this, oh, I need to do this. Think of it like, I get to do this. I desire to do this. I'm allowed to do this. I'm going to do this. Like, like, instead of saying, I have to, I gotta do this, like, putting it out in a stressful way, you giving your power away to what you are creating when you are the creator. So, when you change your perspective, like, I get to do this, I desire to do this, it brings you back into power with yourself and being more in flow and not stressing about what doesn't work for you. You get to know what worked for you. And these examples don't work for you, find another way that makes you feel relaxed and calm when you are approaching things that's important to you, when you are prioritizing balance into your life, and understanding that all of this is just a way to make your life easier. Not stress. Like, stress, we all know stress. We live in America. If you're from America watching this, you definitely know. And I'm pretty sure in other parts of the world, we all have some type of stress as well. So don't let stress consume you. Don't let the words you say consume you. Change them into positive and change them into something that you be able to do. A lot of things, a lot of people can't do what you can do. And I feel like we always neglect that part of, we get the chance to do whatever we want. Even though we are, quote unquote, conditioned to live a life in a certain way, but really we get to decide how we want to live. Like, we don't have to live in a system. And you can create your own system within you, in your life, and showing up for yourself. So, y'all already know. It's all about coming your true self and finding a balance within yourself. And also, I want to add on to that, finding balance within you so you can create balance outside of you. And that's what calls you to be more at ease. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Like, you have to find balance within you, and then your outside world will reflect it in making routines for yourself. That's why I said change the way you think or say certain things when it comes to you doing something that you want to be passionate about, that's important to you, because you constantly saying, I have to do this, and stressing yourself out. Because I used to be like that, especially when I had a routine in my previous apartment. Now I'm in a new space that not so the same, a new area, and then finding new ways to actually show up for myself that I never thought I could, but I have. So if I can do it, I know you can do it. Don't let social media, society, your family, your friends stop you from creating what you want to create. Start creating for yourself. And then the last one, I just want to say slow down. Slow down when you're creating this balance in your life. Like I did, I took a break. That is my definition of slowing down and realigning myself to what is really important to me. Slow down, take your time. Don't rush this process. We always expect, also I want to add to this, we always expect that things have to be good the first time. When you are creating this balance in your life, it takes time. It takes a lot of attempts to see if this works for you, and then you work around it and make it work for yourself. Because we want things to be, let's say, one way. But really, you can make multiple different ways for yourself to make it easier for yourself. So, if you failed the first time, okay, that's fine. Try a different way. Or it's okay to tell people you can't do certain things. It's okay. It's okay, I promise you. And take that time and slow down and realize what you're saying. Realize, like, I get to do this, I get to do that. And make that time for yourself. And take that time to write out everything. Because all of this is pretty much setting time. All of this is pretty much setting the time aside for yourself to understand what balance means to you and create a balance for yourself. So slow down, take that time and breathe. You don't have to rush. It's still going to be there when you decide what's best for you. So let me go over the steps again. Figure out what balance means to you. And did you have a good example of what balance is? 2, what's important to you? 3, make time for what's important to you. 4, change the way you look at things, the way you say things. And 5, slow down. And don't be afraid to start over. I really hope this episode helped you understand what balance means to you and actually do the exercise. If you actually do, let me know. Leave a comment so we can build a beautiful community. And of course, give it a like, a rating, subscribe, and comment. It helps push out my content. It helps grow a community and like-minded people. And of course, share it with somebody who might need to hear this. And just wanted to let you know I love you. You're not alone. Until next time.